Letting your B-Spec driver help you play is still a horrible idea. Today, we are back into Gran Turismo 4 while taking turns with the B-Spec driver to progress through the professional events. To see how the B-Spec driver turn a casual run into pure nightmare fuel. Into the world of Gran Turismo, we go! This time, I took the initiative and took on the Clubman Cup first. Maybe this time, Robo Streaks could learn how to drive properly. This way, I gave the run a glorious start. Now, it's up to Robo Streaks to keep the beat going. But before that, I think it's time for a stock update. Now, since we'll be sharing the same garage, it's only fair that all decisions on buying and selling cars should be agreed upon together. So this means to buy the best car in the world, I must first convince my B-Spec driver to let me go with it. And would you look at that? He agreed, so... Ladies and gentlemen, what comes to your mind when you hear the best car in the world? Is it the face of the sports car in 2004 Porsche 911? Is it every Gran Turismo player's worst nightmare, the Ford GT? No! I present you a true masterpiece. Fierce yet forgiving, this is the real best car in the world. As much as I would like to immediately jump in, it is currently Robo Streaks' turn to play, and things were not looking so great.
Oh brother, this guy stinks. Oh yes! Yes! Okay, P5, P5. He's struggling to beat a legacy. What is wrong with this guy, man? Come on, it's a bloody legacy. Just take it. And he messed up. He messed up. Come on, make that overtake. P3 in hand. Oh no, why? Why? Looks sick, but come on, that doesn't help. Yeah, every time there's a long straight, this car just suffers, period.
Yeah, his Impreza was not looking so hot. So, Robo Streaks conceded, and I took the wheel back. Finally, it is time to unleash the best car in the world. To prevent myself from being stuck in traffic, I used the outer lanes to keep up and eventually break out from last place. This had given me the pass to keep on fighting and chase down the rest of the grid. Normally, going deep in the hairpin is the correct move. But, as it was not possible, I used the NSX's sharp handling to brave the closest alternative and overpower that Corvette to claim the silver medal. While that was a joyous triumph, my fight was far from over. That entry had somehow built a big gap from the grid. I cannot let that continue unchallenged. Before this race ends, I must speed up and capture that BMW. If I take this corner normally, I'll be stuck behind DM3 and he'll just fly away on the straights again. So instead, I flip the script, fast in and slow out. And would you look at that? The fast entry had brought me the overtake, while the slow out managed to keep DM3 in his place. However, our fight didn't stop there. I figured to monopolize the inner lane, as that was the ideal way to handle a chicane. And unlike my NSX, that M3 had no way to outpower me from the outer lanes, which solidified the choice I've made. After the final corner, I stepped on the gas, fully believing the M3 had been beaten. And that was the finish line, a hard-earned victory in the race of NA Sports. Hi, I knew I recognized that M3 from somewhere. I didn't know you raced too.
It's just a hobby of mine. Say, how's the android treating you?
I just wanted to bring that up. I think he's experiencing loyalty issues. See, he tried to pull a coup d'etat on me at 6-cylinder shootouts.
Oh? On behalf of Parasol Incorporated, I apologize for the inconvenience. I can assure you, we have nothing to do with this unprecedented outburst. That android is an experimental model after all. Well then, good talk, I will relay this update to our scientists.
The next race was held in the special stage Route 5. Upon launch, I found that my speed was lacking compared to these supercars, but I was more than capable of making it up on the corners. I optimized the way this corner was handled, and as a result, I nailed the first overtake in this race. Not only that, but this move had allowed me to prepare for the chicane, from where I could keep the rest of the grid close. Yet, the war raged on. With races this intense, I could not afford to waste any time being stuck behind anyone. So, I squeezed through the Grand Sport just in time before I had to slow down to account for the hairpin. Now, with the podium in hand, the real fight has begun. I was unable to reach the Zonda before the long straights, and predictably, I was outpowered on the way to the second lap. This is a pickle. But that was just the first lap. It was far too early to give up, and for being a panicked mess, I've gone into a crash. but that had awakened me from my stupor. I carefully managed my lines on each chicane, as right now, I need to be optimal to keep my rifles close. I probed around to poke a hole through the Pagani's defenses, and after a couple of attempts, I managed to slip through a gap on the hairpin. With the Italian supercar dealt with, it was time to duel a fellow, based NSX enjoyer. This time, I took on the chicane with a tempered discipline and refused to betray the racing line I've envisioned to keep the other NSX close and within attacking range. After the hairpin, I refused to waste any more time and dealt with my rival as soon as possible. Controversial as this move might be, this was the final lap. Had the other NSX had a second win like your typical anime protagonist, I'll be done for. So, with any potential comebacks close for all my rivals, I raced headlong to the finish line, claimed the victory required to complete the race of NA Sports. So, after this event was completed, I returned the wheel to Robo Streaks. But before that, I assured him to not worry about the finances anymore, as that had led him nowhere in the professional events. With this widened horizon, I wanted to buy and massively upgrade a Lancer Evolution 8, complete with an original turbo kit from HKS and a fearsome downforce from the GT Auto. And man, did he not only win, but outright dominate. It had gotten so one-sided, I began to think if the original kit was overkill. But nevertheless, seeing Robo Streaks destroy and dominate did bring some peace to my mind.
Well done in convincing him to buy you that Lancer. I wonder if you meant to not win in boxer spirit to change his heart.
That is a sharp observation, but I was only driving exactly to the limit of the available hardware.
I know a venue best suited to enact your vengeance. The City Slickers. Any production car can enter. What do you think?
The City Slickers is the perfect arena for a subtle, high-impact coupe. Streaks thinks he has tamed me with that apology, but in the tight corners of a city circuit, a tamed tool can easily become a wall he cannot climb. So, with the race of Turbo Sports done, it was time for me to challenge the Concept Car Club, a race exclusive for concept cars. But if you see the potential rivals here, you won't find a CN. So I figured the Silverado should be enough to do the job. That was the case, until I had found the Acura DNX. Near 400 horsepower, mid-engined, all-wheel drive, this car might as well be a supercar. And as such, on the track, the DNX was a fearsome opponent, with this insidious gap as damning evidence. If I were to beat such a formidable foe, I would have to lock in even more. Once the cross sport was dealt with, I readied myself to face the worst nightmare I've faced so far. But normal driving won't cut it anymore, not against an opponent that truly outclasses me. So, I have to bring back the creative racing technique. By cutting through this corkscrew, I could shave a few seconds, which is extremely important if I were to have a shot at the DNX. But the gap between the supercar and my truck was so significant, not even the CRT could immediately fix this glaring issue. Not only that, this heavy truck tends to understeer, and the pressure of catching this seemingly impossible foe was getting to me right around the final corner. I arrived at a corkscrew again, and this time, despite the CRT yielding less than ideal results, it managed to bring me just a tiny bit closer towards the DNX. But this pace was simply not enough to catch up, let alone overtake that supercar. The final lap was upon us, and if things remained like this, I was on a surefire way to defeat. So, I pushed this truck through the corners as hard as I could to minimize the gap between that Acura and I as much as I could. And on my way to the corkscrew, I remembered an interesting quote: "If you cannot beat him, kill him." Truly great words to live by. So, on the famed corkscrew, I did this. Well, with that correction, I managed to claim first place. I bit off more than what I could chew, but through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. With the Concept Car Club done, I let Robo Streaks handle the World Compact Series, and after providing him with key information, he decided that the Vauxhall in my garage was a good option. So, after providing him with the specs he wanted, he ate the competition harder than Pac-Man 8 power pellets.
You got this! Yes! Okay, go, 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 go! Alright, that's right, that's my boy! Great! Okay, all that's left is the Scion XA. Okay, he's doing it! He did it! Yes! Okay, All you need to do is push the car in just like before, and we're heading straight to Victory Town. Alright, slingshot through, good, very good. And immediately go for the block. Classic, that's a classic move, I like it. Okay, very well, that's another dub. Keep this up and we'll have the perfect victory for World Compact Cup. Well done.
Perfect victory, and that was the one time Robo Streaks actually turned up a profit. Then, it was time for the City Slickers. And to prove how easy this event is, I'll wait here for exactly 15 seconds. Alright, time's up. Ready or not? Here I come! And would you look at that? Right on the first lap's hairpin, I've gotten the Taurus already. It's lap 2, and here I am already ripping and tearing through the pack, even on the straights, the one place where I would usually lose. So I gotta give credit where it's due. Pulling this stunt means you have to race at your A-game and a specific experience on the track and in the car itself. Take this corner right here. You'd be tempted to slow down to the third gear, which would be excessive, as proven that you can take that corner without even braking. But once you nail this down, it'll be like mastering the bicycle for the first time. Your muscles won't forget experience, at least most of them. Problem is, this event kind of takes the challenge out from a challenge run.
Greetings. You've been doing well, I see. Very good. I will be facing you in the next few races to verify whether you're still a good collaborator in our program. I shall not go easy on you. Should you lose, we shall take your Android back for your reassignment and your garage.
Well, you heard him first, fellas. If I lose this, I'll be slipping in the NSX from now on. In New York, we had just launched off the starting line, yet the BMW had left us in the dust. This was a wake-up call on how truly dangerous our new Challenger was. According to experience, the series of 90-degree corners would be my only chance to fight back against this insanely overpowered M3. But on the first lap, it still seemed as if the BMW was too fast for my NSX to handle. No, that cannot be right. This is the best car in the world. However great that M3 is, my NSX is still better, and this race will be its proof. Lap 2, and the situation did not seem to mend. But this time, I believe I've gotten closer towards the BMW, even by a little. This is it, all or nothing. Had I not subdued the BMW right there, he would have escaped on the straights once more. And since this layout is full of those, that's not a risk I could take anymore. The BMW was raring for revenge. With how advanced his engine was, there was not much that I could do other than letting him go. But I kept that M3 close until I had a clear shot at making a comeback. With P1 back in hand, I focused completely on keeping the M3 behind. No matter what, I came this far already. I am not losing on the very last minute, despite the sheer lack of power. I won. Meanwhile, in Seattle, I knew I could not waste any time dealing with the bottom feeders. So, I launched far and nailed P4 early. For the sooner I get to P2, the faster I could start hunting that M3 down. Now this Eclipse right here, he's a bit of a bastard, wasting my time like this. But nothing a bit of outsmarting cannot fix. So I do hope I'll still have enough time after being held back like that. On the straights, the harsh reality hit me. That's a disgustingly large gap, and the BMW had absolute advantage over the straights. How am I going to compete? I went through the technical sections of this track, relying on the car's awesome cornering capabilities and the lessons I've learned through all of my Gran Turismo career on this track. With each corner, I was one step closer towards the BMW. However, all that could not bridge the difference between that M3 and my NSX on sections requiring pure power. So, on the technical section right on its end, I relied on muscle memory to weave my way out of the continuous corners, which pulled the M3 back to attacking range and made that overtake. I might have gotten P1, but I hadn't won yet. With the layout's tendency to favor speed, the M3 had plenty of avenues to take revenge. So, I had no choice but to put the best defensive maneuvers and prevent the BMW from rising back to his glory at all costs. And after yet another hard race, I claimed another hard-earned victory, 2 for 2, and I'm not stopping now. In Special Stage Route 5, Are you serious? This again? Didn't you learn your lesson from the 6-cylinder shootout?
I learned the nest has a ceiling. The 6-cylinder shootout was a baseline. This is the execution. I am not here to race you. I am here to render you obsolete.
You base your learning from losing to me by 13 whole seconds? No wonder you suck without overpowered cars. In this layout, I was more comfortable cutting through the pack. I knew which lanes to pick and how to run them. While the Audi did block me to an extent, the NSX's maneuverability had allowed me to switch lanes comfortably, which meant I could adapt, improvise, and overcome no matter what may come. Unfortunately for both of them, this is the one layout that I have zero intentions in letting them escape scot-free. I put my muscle memory to work and wasted no time on the corners. Once we were past that hairpin, I managed to tailgate the M3, taking in as many advantages as I could, and even got to make that contact with the M3, a sign that soon the BMW will be toppled. Right after the tunnel, I figured that driving right in will be the correct move, as I needed to get rid of that obstacle as soon as I can. After all, that was the same Lancer that turned the race of Turbo Sports into a joke. Taking on both corners 8 and 9 faster had gotten me close, but even through all that effort, the Lancer was still too fast to fall. But I knew that soon, I'll be challenging him for the ultimate victory. I have to admit, I was kind of proud of him learning my tricks, but both of us knew it was not the end of our duel. I kept the Lancer close while plotting ideal lanes to deal with such a formidable foe, despite knowing that on the long straights, all of this would be irrelevant. But from this exchange, I knew that while I was beaten black and blue on the straights, I was still king on the corners, so I used that to my advantage. I didn't get the overtake, but I was close, and looks like even an android like RoboStreaks could feel fear. I saw that blunder, and I intended to make use of it. We were neck to neck to determine who shall be crowned winner of the race. It was around the hairpin that I have finally scored a definitive overtake after multiple attempts at probing through RoboStreaks' defenses. But RoboStreaks didn't give up. It's not his style. On the straights, he launched a last stand, putting all 530 horses under the hood to use. In response, I focused entirely on keeping that Lancer behind no matter what, despite the betrayals that had led to this predicament. This is the race I've been looking for. This rush from getting a real challenge, I love it! Wow! Wow! What a race! See, that is how a race should be!
Your A-Spec driver is a force to be reckoned with.
I have to hand it to him. He's an absolute monster behind the wheel. His defensive maneuvers were flawless.
And as for you, we have gathered all the data we required. It's a shame we can't replace him with you, but we will still reach our goals. You, however, no longer has a place in our plans.
So, this was a Turing test disguised as a street race. You were not my peer. You were the architect of a replacement program, and I was the prototype designed to prove your hypothesis.
Impressive reasoning, but you're too late. Soon, your racer will allow us to take you back. Why? You've betrayed him twice.
If you like this video, go check out this episode's prequel where I tried this challenge on the beginner's events. You'll like it!